Samsung UE65HU7500 is the first of the company's 2014 4K TVs to enter our testing rooms. We like it so much we're giving it the full 5 stars. We've not done that with a 4K TV before. Some sets focus on 4K picture quality at the expense of Full HD and standard definition images. This Samsung, however, achieves a good balance of quality across different resolutions. The 4K picture is easily one of the best we've seen since we started reviewing 4K TVs. 8 million pixels are put to good use, even with all the processing modes and filters turned off. It's impressive how much texture is afforded to everything, from rose petals to BBC newsreaders' eyebrows. Edges are sharp and well defined, the image is clean and crisp, and we struggle to find any hint of picture noise. In the past, we've criticized Samsung for its punchy but slightly unreal colors. Now the colors are immaculately judged. It's a more mature approach and feels very natural indeed. We're especially pleased to see properly dark blacks, considering it's an LCD panel. They're not ink black like the best of plasma TVs, but they're black and not grey. Dark areas don't lose out on detail, so there's a good deal of texture in the shadows. Full HD is sometimes where 4K TVs trip up. After all, they have to make up about 75% of the information on screen, but this Samsung performs as admirably as it does in 4K. Blu-ray picture is as crisp and detailed as we could reasonably expect, and is on a par with some of the better Full HD TVs we've seen. Brighter hues are punchy, while skin tones always stay natural and convincing. If we look closely enough, it is possible to pick out hints of grain, but sitting back and watching like normal people, we never get the sense that it's an upscaled HD picture. Standard definition is clearly blurrier and noisier as we would expect. There's also a slight instability, but it's still a surprisingly strong performance considering the TV is making up about 90% of the picture. This is the level of DVD performance we'd expect if we were watching a regular HD TV. Even the sound is pretty good. The Samsung doesn't have the detail and weight of the massive built-in speakers that some Sony TVs have, but it's perfectly listenable. The sense of scale is decent, and tonal balance is good enough that it never sounded thin or harsh. Samsung's smart interface has been updated for 2014, and it's a slicker affair than it was last year, if not hugely different. The smart home screen is like what it was before, with various content divided into 5 pages. There's a page of apps with generous offerings, including 4OD and Amazon Instant Video, while games are separated into their own page. There's a page for Samsung's own on-demand films and TV shows, and a multimedia page which gives you access to content stored on USB drives, as well as popular online content. Finally, the On TV page shows you what's currently available on a spread of channels. There are a number of little thumbnails on each program, and tiny status bars showing how much time remains. Press the Smart Hub button while you're watching TV, and a discrete row of buttons pops up on the screen as an overlay. It gives you access to the most recently used channels, or the option to quit. It's a nice little touch that ensures you're not immediately kicked out of your program, as many smart interfaces tend to do. The TV is easy to control, something that Samsung has worked very hard to achieve. You get 2 physical remotes, a traditional button stick and a fancy smart remote. The latter has a selection of the most used buttons and motion-sensitive on-screen pointer, which appears as a glowing dot on the screen. It's very responsive and great for making selections, a lot better than last year's camera-based, hand-waving antics. The build quality is pleasing. It's solid and weighty without being too heavy. There's also the Samsung Smart View 2 app, available free on iOS and some Android devices. It does everything the normal remotes do, but also turns your smartphone or tablet into a second screen, where you can change channels without affecting the TV's picture. We're very pleased by this Samsung. It's got a whole bunch of shiny features, including a neat new interface, and it looks great too. But most importantly, the video performance is strong across 4K, HD, and SD resolutions. It's a TV that we can imagine ourselves using day to day, and that's what really counts. Samsung has set the bar high for 4K TVs in 2014, and we can't wait to see how its competitors respond.